Good evening, everybody. Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Hope everyone's doing good. We have a Monday market report to talk about this evening. It's Sunday, but sometimes I'll drop this on a Sunday or Monday morning. Depends on how I feel, I suppose. But anyways, we have one here Sunday night. Things are just wrapping up on great collections, and we have a whole host of coins to talk about. Now, if you're new here on this particular video, we've been doing this for about 6 years plus. It's been one of the more watched videos on my channel, and we talk about some of the most impactful, important post 1900 modern coins that have sold here during the week. Now, not the most expensive coins have sold, but a few selections that really draw some attention, because these are going to be coins, guys, that a lot of people look to as a barometer to the entire coin market as it sits. So if the modern coin market is doing really well, then you can make the argument or the case that the rest of the coin market is doing as well as the moderns. If there is going to be any faltering at all within the marketplace, moderns are going to be the coins that'll get hit first. So this will include a lot of your mainstays, things that we normally see out in circulation, from your Lincoln cents, Jefferson nickels, Roosevelt dimes, Washington quarters, Kennedy half dollars, things like that. We still have pretty much the same designs on a lot of the coins that have been, can be as old as 100 years old, with the Lincoln cent. But every single coin is graded either by PCGS or NGC. On occasion, we'll have the annex grade in there somewhere. We don't do those too much because there's a lot of emphasis for registry set folks, for collectors, for investors, to want to go after coins that are graded by the top two companies, and that's PCGS and NGC. So we have, again, all of the sales from great collections. They're probably the best marketplace today, beating out some of the other big ones like eBay and Heritage Auctions, because great collections has had stability. They've had consistency week in and week out. They're one of the trusted companies out there when it comes to sales and service and everything revolving around that. So if you're selling something, they take care of you A to Z. And as long as you have the pieces that they need to sell on their platform, they'll let you know. But there's also a great place to buy coins as well. If you're looking for some pretty big pieces for your collection, look no further. GreatCollections.com is one of the top-notch guys out there. All right, so I figure we'll go ahead and jump right into the top coins for the week. We have 18 listings total. That'll blow you away. Some pretty nice ones here this week. And seeing as how we are kind of entering the cusp of the summer months, I would say that we're not seeing too much slowdown in the marketplace. Normally folks slow down during the summer. They take some time off. They'll go out, do some vacationing, things like that. So the first coin we're going to talk about today is a 1982 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is indeed a proof coin. Quite a few of these were made, so I'll just go ahead and say that, in spite of, its collectability status. Quite a few of these were available for collectors back in 1982. It's one of the higher minted pieces out there, or sets. This particular one right here, however, grades at the perfect highest level. Proof 70 red, deep cameo through PCGS. The few little white specks that you see there on the obverse is actually on the holder and not the coin itself. Because all in all, this coin exhibits some of the best frosting, offset with that deep dark fields that are highly polished and mirrored on there. This is a prototypical, just fantastic gem, if I ever saw one. And because of that, it did sell for $1,406.25. We also have a 1979 Lincoln Memorial Cent, another proof coin. This time it's a Type 1 mint mark. So there are two different mint mark styles for 1979. We have the more common, I suppose, Type 1, but the Type 2 is the Clear S. So those can show up in the marketplace as well, and they traditionally command a much bigger chunk of the market because of the scarcity of that particular mint mark style. But again, much like the previous coin we had looked at, this one exhibits perfect, just beautiful cameo contrasting. PCGS assigned a Proof 70 red grade on this one as well, with deep cameo designated right on the label. This one ended up selling for $2,182.50, and typically these type of coins are going to end up in a complete registry set that not only collects all of the base, I would say, business strike coins, but in addition to that, they're going to collect maybe varieties, they'll collect the proof coins, they'll collect any special strikes like the SMS coins of the 60s, things like that. So that's why there's a lot of value here with these coins, is that they are a necessity with some of those registries. The next one that we have here is, quite frankly, one of the best varieties out there today. This is the ultra-modern look at one of the biggest varieties. This is the 1972 Lincoln Memorial set. It's the FS101 Doubled Die Obverse. Without even looking at super close-up images of the coin, you're going to see some robust doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," Liberty, the date, and even on Lincoln's jacket. So there's a lot of things to look at here. This is probably one of the more stunning visually varieties that you could find within the series. This particular one right here grades out Mid-State 66 red by PCGS. It's also got a CAC cross certified type of authentication on there, which is quite popular for collectors of any type. This one right here ended up selling for $1,282.50, and a really beautiful variety at that. Coming up next here, this is, again, another coin that is going to be tailored for a high-end registry set. Now, registry set owners of a lot of these particular series, they have quite the deep pockets. So normally you're going to have a number of people really battling it out to own some of the finest pieces. And when one comes up that's quite scarce, like this 1957 Philly Lincoln Wheat set, you better believe that there's going to be some explosive sales activity on these. Now, Mid-State 67 red is a assigned grade for this particular coin. It's one of the higher graded examples that you could come across. And as a result, this one sold for $2,193.75. Now, here's a variety that's quite new to a lot of people. A lot of people are familiar with a few of the doubled dies that you could find on the steel sets, in addition to a few notable repunch mint marks. But how about this particular overdate right here? We have a 1943 over 2 S-minted Lincoln. It's a steel composition coin, one of the more popular coins today, because it's a one-shot, unique composition that they only did, to save some nickel. And, apparently they only needed to do it 1 year. And that's why there's a lot of endearment here with this coin, is that, it's unique, it's different, it's a little bit oddball. But this variety right here is one that just gained into prominence within the last few years, and people are taking notice. This particular one is also designated as the FS101, so that means it's some sort of doubled die, and that's what it says on the label. This one sold for $2,306.25 as a Mid-State 67 example. And one of the bigger coins for the week has to be this 1942D Lincoln Wheat set, another prime time registry set ownership coin. This one is a monstrous Mid-State 68 red through PCGS. It's a top pop grade, probably only a couple, if not one of them, exists at that grade level. This one sold for $8,426.25. The date itself is not rare at all. Many millions of this one were produced. It's just that there's only one or two that grades out at the biggest top center stage grade level that you could think of. Now here's one of the more tougher dates. This is a right around the Great Depression age. So a lot of people spent their 1920s and 30s Lincolns. Very few of them were ever saved at the highest state of preservation. So even coins as simple as this 1931 Philly has a lot going for it. This one is a Mid-State 67 plus full red. It's also got the CAC green bean as well, which is another extra added feature to the viability and the price of the coin. This one right here is sold for $7,048.12. Now we're on to some nickels. We have a few nickels here and there. We have this one Jefferson nickel, which is a really good looking double die. This is another big one here. This is a 1945D Jefferson nickel. It's the FS101 doubled die obverse. This one grades PCGS Mid-State 66 plus with full steps. And the steps look unbelievably sharp on this particular example. This one sold for $1,472.62. We also have another Silver War nickel. This is a 1942P. This one is an NGC Mid-State 68 example. No full steps, so it looks like it probably has 3 or 4 full steps, but the overall cleanliness of the coin is what really sets this one apart from the rest. Now they call this the Type 2, because if you guys are not aware, in the year 1942, the U.S. Mint produced both just regular good old nickel composition nickels that bear the date 1942, both P and D mints, and they also did a run of the 35% silver manganese alloy coins as well. They were in transition here as they were saving nickel for the war effort. This is their substitute composition. So this particular one, really nice high grade, even though it doesn't have the strike to back it up. This one ended up selling for $3,009.38. We do have a few buffaloes, and they're all really pretty. There's really nothing else that we can't say about this series. It's one of the most beloved. It's one of the most widely collected. Approachable from all angles, from a budget standpoint, from one of, just unbelievable high-class type of collecting. This is a 1938, but this is an over mint mark. It's a D over S. So it's one of the big varieties for the date. This is a PCGS Mid-State 67 plus. Again, that green CAC sticker showing itself here on this one as well. And I'm happy to say this one ended up selling for $1,861.88. Continuing on down the line, don't let this date fool you. We all know that 1937 Philadelphia minted buffaloes are quite common. There's tons of these. But this one right here is an NGC Mid-State 68, and it's one of the finer grades out there. Just a really beautiful looking piece with lots of luster, and it's just dripping that. This particular coin ended up selling for $2,446.88. So, it's not the top pop grade, but it's pretty close to it, and I would say it's a great safety net here with this one. And we do have some tougher dates, much like the Lincoln that we saw earlier, the 1931, the 1920s Buffaloes. The quality was a little bit suspect. The strike took a hit, the overall quality, the luster of these coins when they were first produced were all lacking in just overall good craftsmanship. 1928S was not immune to this. As you can see, for a coin that grades Mid-State 66, it did lack a lot of things. Luster was a big one. So this one right here is a very well collected coin. Sold pretty close to $10,000. More appropriately, $9,874.12. All right, we have a few dimes as well. This is one of the more well-known varieties and one of the more egregious kind of mistakes that the Mint did make. 1942 over 1. So this is one of the marquee overdates. Mercury die. As you can see, this one is an NGC AU55. These things are desired across all grade levels, and as a result, the prices have stayed rather lofty on all of these. even though that there are a number of coins out in the marketplace to fulfill demand. So AU55 is like split right down the middle. It's a great compromise between I'm not a cheapo and heck no, I cannot afford $40,000 for that Mid-State 66. So this one right here ended up selling for $1,299.38, which is not too bad. And AU55 still has some attractiveness to it. Speaking of attractive, the 1940p Mercury dime is a coin that is available across all grades and sometimes at a very affordable price. However, when you come across one that exhibits a lot of this toned color on here, just years and decades of storage created this masterpiece you see here, is collected as an art form. All right, and then this is a completely separate, different type of market that is quite astonishing. This is a Mid-State 68 full bands example, so it has a nice sharp struck reverse. PCGS graded this one here, and it sold for $2,499.75. And the final dime for the week is this 1924S, just a really good old-fashioned tough date. Once you get into the teens and early 20s, you know, this is a particular very short date range that a lot of collectors have a hard time finding decent examples. So you could add this one as being just an overall really nice coin with some of that original toned skin on there. PCGS assigned a Mid-State 64 with full bands on this one. I think it looks the part. This one sold for $2,009.25. And then we're going to wrap it up with a few quarters. Okay, we have probably one of the more common dates of silver quarters. 1950s Washington quarters were just incredibly plentiful. There wasn't anything that you would consider a key date. There are a few key varieties, but when it comes to just overall dates, whether they're Philly, Denver, or San Francisco, you could kind of have your way. You know, if you were putting together a nice BU set of this particular decade range, you're not going to have a whole lot of hard time trying to find what you need at an affordable price. However, again, registry sets is really big with the Washington quarters. This one right here is a 54S that grades out at Mid-State 68 through PCGS. Now, I'm going to let you guys kind of guess what makes this one a little bit better than anything else. Aside from the assigned grade, the toning, absolutely. Again, we're playing on to the fact here that this coin has been untouched since it was first minted, and that's what collectors yearn for. This one sold for $9,843.75. It's one of the biggest sales of the week, and you know, one of the most polarizing as well, considering it's a very common date. Not so common is this variety. This is one of the biggest varieties within the Washington Quarter series. If it wasn't for the 43S, the 34 that you see here would certainly take top billing. Now, it's a Philadelphia coin, which is good news. It's going to be a little bit easier for you guys to find. Across all grade levels, these are findable, and I have a few of them in my collection I've found just by going through scrap silver. Now, this is a doubled die obverse. It's the FS101. PCGS graded this one as a Mid-State 66, and I'm happy to say that this one ended at $4,474.12. Just a really monumental coin. A lot of the strong doubling is not only in the date, but the motto as well. Keep an eye out for these. Such a really wonderful coin, and they are highly desired today. And the final coin that we're going to talk about looks like something that was found out of a group of just basic 90% constitutional silver. And this is actually a very big variety that is worth a lot of money, even in lower grades like this one. It's the 1918 over 7. It's a S-minted Standing Liberty quarter. Now, NGC gave this one a fine 12. You can see a little bit of the date, and that's really all you need to know that this one is going to be that infamous overdate that everybody's trying to cherry pick. This one right here is a really good, just soft, circulated example. In spite of what you guys may think, you know, this is a coin that is very similar to the 1916 of the same series is that, you could identify them in relatively lower grades. And they're going to be a coin that's going to be worth a lot of money, even in those lower grades, because there is a necessity out there in today's market for affordable examples. And if you could call $1,000 affordable, so be it. Now, this one didn't quite come that close. This one ended at $3,376. Still a very pricey coin for as low grade as it is. So I would challenge you guys to even keep an eye out for these, because if you're able to see the last couple digits in the date, you're going to be able to diagnose this variety pretty easily. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another fantastic edition of the Monday Market Report. We're halfway through the month of June, or pretty close to it. But by the time we do our next MMR, we will be beyond the halfway point. So if you guys check this out on Monday, I hope you guys have a wonderful start to your week. Don't work so hard. If you guys are checking this out on a Sunday, I hope you guys are having a really restful evening. So that's going to do it. I am out of here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notifications. And check me out on TikTok as well, at BlueRidgeSilverhound. So I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, and keep on collecting.